Hey everybody, Lenny Ghoul here, bringing you some Evil Genius today. Because I promised I would, and it was a major pain in the ass, but you guys are worth it. And this game's amazing. When it works. Hopefully it works today. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't crash or anything. We'll see. Alright. Hey, what's up, Tiff? Let's see. So, welcome everybody to Evil Genius. Now, if you've never seen this game before, it's pretty awesome. What's the problem? The only issue is when I click off of the screen, it's gonna pause. And then when I come back, it'll be fine. So, like, you're gonna have to, that's the only way I can get it to run. Believe me, getting this far was a Herculean fucking effort. But it is what it is. Now, this game is all about being an evil genius, and it's kind of like an Austin Powers sort of thing. I don't even know if the game even I don't even know when Austin Powers came out. It might actually be before that, but it's the same idea. Although it's pretty obvious that Doctor Evil is the one thing. So I think this game came out in 20. Let's look up the stats real quick while we're waiting. Evil Genius game originally came out in 2004. Austin Powers probably came out in the 90s. 97. So obviously, okay, good. Anyway. Oh, well. Okay, one of them came out in 97, one came out in 2002. There was like 4 versions of the movie. The point is the game is obviously based kind of on the movie, but it's also based off of a bunch of other if it was just based off of that movie, then it would be based off of that movie. But there's influences that resemble that feel, but then also from like a lot of other evil, like not evil, but like take over the world, James Bond-esque superstar, like super spy, but this is the bad guy of all those combined into one. Oh, okay. Um, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go easy right now. So we're gonna pick our guy. The one that everybody picks, which is probably the best one, but we're gonna play Shen this time because we're different. But the one that usually everybody plays is Maximilian, and this is basically fucking Doctor Evil. He really looks a lot like Doctor Evil in the game too. He's got the gray outfit and the whole deal. Um, and then Alexis, she's absolutely like Cruella Deville. Like when you see her in game, you're like, oh, dude, that's totally her. Like even her dress, I think, has spots on it. Like it's her white fur dress. Um, and then Shen Yu, who we're gonna be playing, is the kind of like the guy from Enter the Dragon, like the bad guy who owns the island, right? But the whole thing's kind of all the same, though. It's this campy kind of game that's kind of slapsticky, and it looks really basic at first, and it starts getting really intricate, and there's like, the more you play, the more it unlocks more things. At some point in the game, when we stop on stream, I'm actually going to have to let it run for a couple hours off stream, so that by the time we stream again, you guys don't have to sit through that shit, because there's this part where you need to just spend a lot of hours grinding out money so that you can continue. There's a couple like issues in the game like that, like where it just takes a really long time, and there's a couple like buggy things that happen occasionally. We generally don't do that on stream, because I've streamed this before, like maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago. And you don't really want to see that, because it's literally just nothing. Like but the rest of it's really fun, and you don't have to do that, but it just makes the game like way more fun if you just kind of like let it run by itself. Once you have everything set up, go watch Netflix for a couple hours, come back, you've generated enough money, and then you go and you continue and do the thing. And then you can play the whole rest of the game without any issue. And it could take, depends on how you play. There's a lot of stuff to unlock. There's a lot of stuff to research. It could take anywhere from a couple of days to like 2 weeks, depending on, how long you play it, how much you want to play it, how into it you are, all kinds of things. But you save it. You have to turn auto saves off, which I did, because that's actually one of the bugs, where if you have autosaves on, you can actually corrupt the fucking game. So you just have to save a lot. Manually save. Otherwise you corrupt the save file, and then when you need it, it's fucked up. There's another bug that happens once in a while. During research, the research can stall. And if it does, you're kind of bricked for a long time. There's a way to fix it, and it's not, if it happens on stream, we're not going to fix it on stream, because it won't work. It'll be insane to fix on stream. You have to go through some like file thing. So like I said, there are a couple bugs in the game. They're generally not always there. It's just that sometimes they crop up, and it's like annoying. It is what it is. Some of the bugs are attributed to patches and things that were added. I believe the extra content has been added to this patch. This is a community patch, and I think it comes with the bonus content. It's supposed to. If it doesn't, I'll add that later. The bonus content is supposed to have an extra minion who's the Safari guy. I don't remember his name. And then a couple extra traps. And it was like bonus content that was in like a CD. Like if you like ordered something from PC Gamer magazine or something. I don't remember. There was like some like thing with bonus content for this. It was really funny. When this game came out, people were still reading like actual magazines on video games and stuff. So anyway, so this is a great game. A lot of people have never heard of it. And let's just get to playing it. You want to watch the intro. This is kind of important. So tune in for this. At least I hope so. It may just not go to the thing. Oh, it didn't. Where's the intro screen? I wonder if I can play it. Maybe it was turned off. There's this intro screen that it like tells you the whole premise of the fucking game, where it's like a secret agent and he's like, someone's trying to take over the world and we know his name, and it's all this stuff. But I think it might have been disabled in the patch because it probably creates bugs. Game, video hints, that's fine. Autosave is off, that's good. Credits. Oh my god, don't crash. Oh my god. Okay. I just saw it pause for a minute. Alright. Well, let's just play it then. Alright, so let's see. We can zoom in pretty good. We can zoom out pretty good. So this is our starter island. We start with this base. It's kind of a 2D thing. You can see that this is actually like, this is what it looks like. But then if you like, this is the workable area, so that's why it looks like it's cut off. It's like weird how it works. Like this is what it actually looks like if you look at it from the side. But then like, so you can see that's like, it's like a mountain, and then there's actually stuff inside. So our first objective is get acquainted with the island and start expanding your layer. Ensure a healthy minion force by building barracks. I believe the minion cap is set at 150 right now from the community patch. I used to set it at 2. I didn't set it at 2 this time. I just let the community patch on. The original was 100 and it was never enough. And people really quickly, when this game came out, it was like there was a very robust community of people who really loved this game, and there was like a there was like an Evil Planet website that somebody made when people were doing the Game Planet websites back in the day, and like people really quickly figured out how to modify the game so you could have more minions. And it's became pretty much a staple of the game. Like that's just like how you play. Playing it with 100 minions is damn near impossible. It's really hard. So yeah. All right. So what are we doing? So what we need to do is I haven't played this in so long, I'm trying to remember. We need to build stuff. We need hallways and a storeroom, and we need a place for our money. This is a temporary shack for all of our gold. This is a dude. This is a henchman. He's one of our like main henchmen. And then these are our little minions. Now, minions won't go where you tell them to do. They will perform the tasks that you tell them to do, and they will do them on their own time, or they'll just get there eventually. But henchmen, you can actually order, you're going to go here and take care of this problem. And it's usually go kill this guy. That's usually what it is. Go kill this motherfucker. And they're pretty good. And henchmen level up and everything. And this guy, this is the evil genius. This is Shen. He doesn't do anything except exude greatness. This is the only thing that evil geniuses do. They exude greatness, and they have to stay alive. When people are around them, they get happy, and then they can kill people to raise people's loyalty. See how he's got this little aura around him? This is kind of like an inspirational aura. It gives the minions stats. See how they pop to attention? It gives them little stat bonuses. Each minion has a stat bar, and they have different colored stats that, depending on their loyalty and their tiredness and all these crazy things, their health and all this shit. And so when they're around this guy, all of their stats go up, right? Because he exudes greatness. That's what the evil genius does. And he walks around and he does shit. And you're like, okay, so now what you do? So the first thing you want to do is build yourself a base. Now, I haven't done this in a long fucking time, but I kind of remember I mean, basically what you're doing is you're just building a base. It's a builder game. You build a base. You got a lot of different things to do. And then bad guys are gonna, well, technically good guys are gonna come in and start investigating and seeing what you're up to. And if they start committing they see illegal rooms or illegal things, they're gonna run away and then report it. And then eventually, like, they're gonna send in like investigators and like armies and like people with guns to take you down, and then maybe assassins and saboteurs and thieves and other things to steal your shit. And that's all called notoriety and heat. And so you want to build things that don't have a lot of heat in the beginnings of your base. So one of the things that's kind of insane is that people kind of walk through your base, and it's kind of hard to keep them out of your base because they will piggyback off the minions. And that's okay, they're supposed to. But you don't want to kill everybody who walks into your base, because if you kill them, if they don't report back, that generates heat, right? And then you end up having a lot of dead people, and dead people create body bags. And then body bags create heat, and you have to put the body bags somewhere before eventually they disappear. So you have to put them in the freezer. And you have to make your freezer bigger, and if they see the freezer with the body bags, that creates more heat. So there's all these little things that happen. But basically, what you're going to do when you first start off is you're going to pause as soon as I can figure out how the fuck to do that. Is it space? No, I don't remember what the pause button is. I haven't played this in so long. You can pause the activity and then plan out your base, and then resume, and then it does it. And that way you're not worried about people doing things in real time. I feel bad. I really haven't even played this game in so long. It's P. Okay, well that makes sense. I literally haven't played this game in so fucking long. That's how bad it is. Like, I just don't remember things. All right. And I could have like ran myself through it, but I was like, nah, fuck it. All right. So it's P. There's a little pause button. Cool. So first thing you want to click on your workable area, which is this. I need a strong room, I need a barracks, I need a control room. These are the three things I have to start to get the game going. Because the one thing is, once we get a control room, it needs to have a panel, like some kind of display panel, and a memory bank. And once it has those, it activates another menu that we get to open up called World Domination View, and that's where a lot of the game takes place as well. So and we need that soon. So and that allows us to find different types of specialized minions, and then loot and items that we can use to create more items, and then, you know, on and on and on. And we end up with this massive menu of different types of rooms and different types of buildings and different types of things. And it's just great fun. So to start off, we need a basic thing. Now, I have learned things through the years, and one of the things that's really cool about the game is you can set up traps. And traps are fun because they keep the bad guys busy and out of your main base if you do them right. And one of the most classic traps that everybody loves to do is a hurricane trap. There's some other traps too that are activated by something that you can do later called, when you can make a freak, and the freak will walk across the traps and activate them and cause them to activate the traps automatically. And that's really the way to go. But until we get there, and we're not going to get there for a while, we're just going to do like a basic thing. Now, what we want to do is we want to have enough area so that we can access this easily, because some of our supplies and minions will be coming in from this, and then also some of them will be coming in from over here. So we actually want 2 entrances, and we don't want either of these entrances to be so easy to access the rest of our base that people can just end up walking through really deeply. So you need to set up like checkpoints and weird like pathings and all this stuff, and it's been so long I don't even really remember how to do it. So I'm gonna start off with a basic, and we'll probably rebuild this a whole bunch of times. So I'm gonna do like a basic hallway. If we want, we can there's places anywhere that's blue you can build stuff. You can build here, and then you can have like a doorway out. We want to make sure that there's room for security checkpoints that we're going to create later as well. Some of this base, you can see how we've marked this out. This is something that can't be moved. They put these things in the game so that they're annoying on purpose, so that you have to figure out how to build around them. So you can't just have this perfectly square thing. Like they're little obstacles. There's a couple. There's some here. They're just kind of like super hard rock that you can't get through or whatever. So what we're going to do is basically kind of like this, except I like to put security checkpoints in, and the way I set those up is I have these little 1-by-1 rooms with doors in them, and then I lock the doors and then have them guarded. And if the doors are guarded, then security guards will post outside of here in the hallway, and investigators trying to get in will be kind of dissuaded, but they'll be intrigued because it's a locked door, and they'll say, well, there must be something behind here. Maybe we can do that. Another thing that's really fun to do that actually works really well is to have a locked door that's not guarded, and then have that lead to a hallway. And I might do that actually. Let's do it like this for now. I forgot about this. So one of the cool things you can do is you can have that lead to like a hallway full of hallways. Let's see, we need, because you put a door here. Basically, you get them just lost in this maze of fucking doors, and then they just kind of get stuck, and eventually they find their way out. And they basically, if investigators will show up, and you want them to waste as much time doing nothing as possible, so that they eventually leave before finding your base. So this is kind of how you would do that. So you set up a door, you probably put a door here, and then put a door here. In fact, I don't want to waste, you don't have a lot of space to waste, so we want to waste as little space as possible doing this. Eventually I think I end up, when I do these kind of things, I end up clearing this, I leave this area open for trap stuff, and then eventually I redo the trap, so that it ends up being like enough area to do like those crazy traps I was talking about, like the hurricane trap and stuff, where people get stuck in a vortex of these little wind blowing machines that blow them around in circles and shit. It's really fun. But a big part of this game is about traps, and a big part of the old game is or the Evil Genius 2 game isn't. They actually fucked that up. That was a really big thing that they fucked up in Evil Genius 2. We don't understand. But anyway, so this is what kind of what we're gonna do. And while on that note, how is your day going, Tiff? I didn't even ask you yet, and I'm glad to see you here. Uh, but I hope everything's going well for you. So this is gonna have a door. This is gonna have a door. So let me see. I don't want to spend too much money either. The solar panel fixed the thingy that was holding up the inspection. Oh, good. So we're gonna have a door here, and 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 a door here. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. And this is why I'm laying it out, so that I can not waste a lot of space. So now you just wait for a new inspection date. Jesus Christ. That's fucking annoying. At least I don't know. I would be annoyed by it. Like, holy crap, dude. Oh shit. Um that's right. I remember this now. Yeah. So then you want one here. Here. So this is what I'm doing is creating the corridor of. Oh no! God damn it. Fucking hate this game already. Oh, I forgot. You can fuck shit up because I accidentally hit the wrong fucking button. Well, that's the idea. But we'll just have to do it over again. I was told that I shouldn't be long. The dude already approved most of it. That's cool. Fuck. What I see, I didn't want to. I didn't want to commit to a straight hallway because I was gonna do all that, and I just fucked up like an idiot. So. So we're gonna do this again. And hopefully not fuck it up this time. And we could save. I didn't save. I'm actually gonna leave a space here so that they could be intrigued. Like, oh, what's this? So, a door here. Right. Door here, door here. Door here. Door here. I know what I'm doing is like, it's like, okay, what are you doing? This doesn't make a lot of sense to somebody who's just watching the game, but if you give us just a minute or two, it'll all make sense in a minute. Just gotta get it started. So, door here, door here, door here. Because, see, the agents don't know where to go. And your job is to confuse them as much as possible, so they don't end up sneaking around the important things that you don't want them to see. That's the whole point of this. But you want to attract their attention. And what you want to do is you want to lock these doors so that they try to break into them. And when they break into them, they think there's going to be something in here, but then it gets locked, and then they have to break into the next one, and then they have to keep breaking into all these doors. You see, and then they get stuck trying to break into all these doors, and then they end up with like no results, and it's fucking awesome. Okay, so now this is called this is like Lenny's passive trap that he came up with a long time ago that works really well. There's a lot of fun traps that you can do with like mechanical things that we'll unlock later, but for now, this one works really, really fucking well. And we can actually put like gas traps and stuff in here too, which is nice, to fuck them up even more. So we're pre-laying out a lot of stuff right now. One thing we have to do though is we have to get a storeroom pretty in here somewhere, where they're actually gonna start, because they need to get this gold, and they need to get from this gold into here somewhere, and they need to this is our temporary holding room for all of our stuff, and we need to get it in here as soon as possible so we can start playing. But I wanted to lay this out just so I had a reference for where this was going to be, because this is fun. If I could make this a little bit bigger. And we might be able to. This could be even better. Because then... Yeah. Now, interestingly, there is going to be a payoff if they get to the end. But it's going to be... Well, how am I going to deal with that? The way that I like to do my storeroom is I have a locked room that can be accessed, but it's hard to get to. But I have the briefcases facing outwards so that they can use them. I'm trying to remember. I used to do this cool thing. I'm trying to I'm trying to remember this like cool little setup. Anyway, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, because all these are gonna be locked, so I'll have it unlocked where they can do the briefcase dumps. Because the only way to get there is to go through all the crazy shit anyway. Oh, that's another thing. All right. How much of this can we use? Maybe we'll put a security desk in here at some point or something. Some of this we want to be like a leisure area so that they can do their breaks and stuff. Like normal people can walk in here and there's nothing illegal or anything going on. And if the investigators do get through, they actually have a place they can be like, aha, we found the break room. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the plan. All right. I think we just need two. And then we need a door. We do need a way to get in here. I don't remember how I used to do this. I do know, and I locked the door, and it must have been a guarded door. Yeah, there has to be an actual guarded door on the strong room. Because you don't want the people to actually get in there. So I think we're gonna do this. We want a guard, and we want that to be strong room. I'm like thinking I'm like way overthinking stuff ahead of time. I know there's a whole lot of like what is going on. This just looks really weird. I'm just pre-planning like a thing in my head. Yeah, this is gonna have to be here and here. And we're gonna have a guard right here. Right. Almost fucked that whole thing up again. All right. The reason I'm doing these crazy things is because like I said, agents go to locked doors and then it just gets crazy. They just they get lost in this shit and it's fucking awesome. Can we put a door here? I think we can. Yes, we can. Now, this is the strong room. And I don't care if it's got walls and shit next to it. It doesn't matter. Because this just needs to hold a whole bunch of gold. Okay, so why are these two things cut out here? Well, I will show you. Actually, I'm gonna do it here. Because minions are gonna drop briefcases full of gold off. And okay, that's set to go, and that's set to go. And then this there. Then we have two entrances. I've actually done stuff where it's so like they get so lost that they actually never find their way down. It's really surprising how easy it is to get the bad guys lost by having these types of situations. Because they get distracted, but they're like, oh door, and they're locked doors. Oh, locked door. And your guys don't want to go in there because there's no reason to go in there. But they will go in there sometimes and you have to fish them out, and it's kind of annoying. But for the most part, like, yeah. So this is going to be our entryway. Now, we do need a barracks and a control room. The barracks isn't an illegal room. And I might put a little barracks up here just for starters. I don't think a barracks is an illegal room. I don't remember. I hope not. Just to have something. The investigators will see the barracks. They'll be intrigued to go this way. The only thing you really need in the barracks is lockers and a couple of beds. Eventually you want to upgrade the lockers because each locker gives you more minions, and the upgraded lockers give you a lot more minions. So this is the preliminary stuff that we're gonna do. The strong room is really important, and then the control room we'll do in here. We'll get to that at some point. So, okay, we've made all these orders. Now, what are we going to do? Well, we're just simply going to unpause the game. Actually, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this as Shen Yu intro layout. Shen Yu intro. Save. Okay, so now when I unpause it, they're going to start taking care of all this shit. These workers have something to do. The other thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to set these workers to 99. Eventually, it doesn't, right now it won't do anything. I don't know why that clicked like that. We'll click back. Okay, so what this does is it will always recruit minions. Every 60 seconds we'll get a minion, but minions will come and leave all the time. You will lose them, they will come back. If we spend money, we can recruit more minions by moving the slider. For a little bit of money, we'll get minions every 30 seconds or every 10 seconds or a stream of minions every second. But for now, we're cheap and we don't need them. We only have a capacity of 5 right now, and that's because they haven't built this yet. But as soon as this barracks with these lockers get built, it'll increase their capacity. Now, 2 things we want to do. See, this blue stuff is where they haven't built yet. So they're bringing in piles of dynamite. And they're setting it down. And then they're going to blow it up. He's got a little trigger. If I move the screen around, you can see it. But I'm not really going to do it because it doesn't really matter. Once they put enough dynamite in, they'll remote trigger it. It'll blow it up. It'll carve out the hallway. And then they'll be able to build more stuff. The early stages of the game is kind of like, right? And then it starts getting really fun. Once people start showing up, you start doing missions and things. More people show up, and the different you start talking to the different guys, and you have the different like. Okay, we have investigators already on the island. See, they're looking for trouble. They're looking for signs that there's something going on. Now, like I said, some rooms are totally legal and they aren't a problem, and some rooms create heat and will bring people to investigate further. And what we're doing is we're creating those little areas so the investigators get lost in there trying to investigate things. And then most of our base is going to be down in here. Like a big part of our base is just going to be all up in here. And this is just the entrance. And then once we get to where there's a second base later on, and that's a big volcano layer where we build like a big rocket and everything, like, and threaten the world and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so here we go. Right now we've got our hallways chopped out, and now they're going to start buying. They're going to start buying doors. Now, if I want them to focus specifically on one thing. I should have turned the video tips off. Anyway, if I want them to focus their work on one thing, this is one of the things that the evil genius can actually do. Like I said, he doesn't do a whole lot. you end up building his own little fucking office, and he gets to sit in there most of the time. If you click on this, that will tell them to rush that. And you can see how there's these little wispy things coming up. I don't know if you can hear anything. I might need to turn the volume up a little bit. Is the game volume okay? Because I have it kind of turned down on my headset. You can hear some things. Can you hear like the ambience music and stuff? Turn it up a little bit. All right, so now we want them to rush build these. And the reason we want them to rush build these is because those are the lockers, and with the more lockers, there's more minions, and more minions, our stuff will get done faster. Another thing that we want to do is we want to move this to here. Because once our briefcase rack is in there, our money will start filling up over here, and then we can actually shut this down. The problem is I don't think they're going to move it until they do all the doors. See, our population went up because we have a locker now. And we're going to need to build a bigger barracks at some point really soon. And then have lockers. What I might do is just build right here along the edges, just places for lockers that are considered barracks, but they aren't actually barracks. Okay, he's like, I want you to move that, and I want you to hurry. And I do want them to do that. That doesn't mean they will. There he goes. He's going to do it. All right. Good job. Okay. And we also want to put one here. Now, if you'll notice what we're doing, the feet for the briefcase rack is actually pointing toward the hallway. This is something you normally don't do in normal rooms, because we want them to access the briefcase from the hallway, and we never want them to go into the storeroom once we have both briefcases in there. Because if they go into the store, into this room, they'll steal gold and shit, but they can't touch the gold if this shit's locked and guarded. So once they put the second briefcase in here, which we probably should prioritize, then we can lock the room. Once we shoo them out, it's going to take a little while to get all of them out, because someone's going to come in here and fuck it all up. They always do. And then we can set this door to lock and guarded. And then our henchmen will guard that door for a while until we get like real guards and stuff. And then like That way anybody trying to fuck with it will get in trouble. Oh shit. Okay, well, that's not gonna work now anyway. We got that. We do need power. I forgot the doors take a lot of power. Okay, so we need to start doing our power plant. And I want our power plant to be deeper than our control room and stuff. I kind of want your power plant to be in the middle, because if they get access, if the bad guys get access to the power plant, like, you're fucked, because they just take all your stuff. Like, your power's down, that's it, right? You're done. See, that's 4, so we're gonna do like a middle thing here. So there's room for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the more you like play this, the more you can plan out like a better base, and then like you can play it again. Like maybe partway through you don't like what you did, instead of destroying everything, you just start over and say, okay, well, I want to kind of put something over here. I want to put something over here. There's actually websites where you can go to like play with like a planner that will help you figure out like a better way to set your thing up, and then you can just come back here and look and say, oh, I'd rather set this up this way. And you can have it on your browser, and you can look over and say, oh, okay, let's do that. I haven't done that in a long time, but that's kind of like a lot of people do that, or they did with this version of the game. I'm contemplating putting something here so that I can make a hallway here at some point if I want another access point. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm feeling. We will leave the opportunity for that to exist by making a hallway here, but we're not going to commit to it yet. Yeah, see, I don't want to waste space, but I don't want like things we can't do, so we will put that there. And then we'll put this over here, and that way we can have the option for these to spread out, and we have more hallways. We do need to make a power. I think for now, we're gonna make a power plant like in here somewhere. So I'm gonna have, I want it kind of out of the way and convoluted, which is why I'm making it like, I'm building this stuff way down over here, because I want it out of the way of everything. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna put our power plant in here. It might not even be out of the way enough. I might end up doing it down. We might move it. We'll probably move it a couple of times. Like I said, I haven't played this in a while. I do know that we need a lot of power. These things take a lot of space. And when we upgrade to the nuclear power plant, it's like phenomenally better. Now these need space. So that they can be, oh yeah, I can't do that. That's right. Shit. They need space so that you can get in between them. Like, I remember the power plants always taking up way more room than they should, and it's kind of annoying. But once you get nuclear power plants, they can be a lot smaller. And the minions need to be able to get access to each one, because sometimes they need to maintain it. I think that's the play from what I remember. And for now, we'll do that. And let's put some fire extinguishers in too. It's always good to have fire extinguishers. Okay, so now we've kind of planned this out. We have to worry because we're probably going to run out of money, and then we'll get backup funding, and then we'll get like free money for a while. One of the things that I end up doing often is overbuilding early, and then like this is bound to happen. Okay, this is going to be a 3. Actually, that's going to be a 4 at some point. Hopefully nobody gets in there until the power comes on. We probably... Oh, I can't pause those. What I should probably do right now, temporarily, is... stop all these from being built for a few minutes. What's up, Ara? That way I'm not wasting so much stuff, and then they can focus on this. How's it going? We're playing us some Evil Genius, man. Still sick? Yep. Still fun. Oh, you're still sick. Oh, that sucks. So we're playing Shen. If I can find him. There he is. And we ran out of power because I overbuilt early, but that's okay. We don't need any power yet because we haven't done anything yet. We haven't built our control room. If you wait to build your control room till after you get your stuff in, that's good, because then you don't have the world domination screen to deal with, and you only have the pesky agents that are walking around, and there's nothing illegal yet, so there's really nothing they can do. Our power keeps fading in and out because we're close, but we're not there yet. My big worry... In fact, I'm gonna take some more of these doors down, and the reason is because when the power does come on, we don't want to blow the power plant because we don't have enough power for the one power plant. Because doors take power. And then we'll put the doors in later, and everything will be fine. And these doors are my cheap version of one of the most simplest traps that I've ever built in this game that works amazingly. And it's just to get them confused. The investigators get confused, and they keep trying to, and all those doors will be locked, and they just keep trying to get through these locked doors all the time, and they end up getting lost in this maze of locked doors. It's amazing. So see, we've already got our power back because I've removed doors that didn't even exist yet. But we still need to do this. All right, we still need that guarded. But I wanted it guarded from the outside, not from the inside. We do need to kill the strong room now that we have one. I build a main hall from one entrance to the other. They just stay there mostly. Yeah. We don't want them poking around too deep into the base. So what happens is they end up getting confused because once I put some of these doors back in, I can put like 1 or 2 doors back in. Once we put some doors back in and we lock them, they get attracted to locked doors. And they'll just get stuck up here trying to fuck with locked doors all the time. It's amazing. And then they never make their way deep into the base. Like they want to get in here, but this is why I wanted my henchmen to guard the fucking door. So that they don't. Now these initial investigators don't really matter. They're intrigued because it's a locked door, but it's the only one they've seen because I didn't put this locked door in yet. So I kind of did this backward, but that's okay. I got nervous. I haven't played this in a long time. Now this door will be locked. But not guarded. This is going to be guarded so that if they do break in, they get beat up. Because this is obviously the good stuff. Locked doors, a few traps, fake meeting rooms with traps. Yep. That's locked but not guarded. So eventually these are all going to be doors. And they'll just get stuck in there and it's amazing. I'm just pissed off that my henchman keeps moving. He was guarding this for a while. But we don't have any, like... We don't have any real guards yet. But he was guarding it from the inside. No, god damn it. I didn't want to do that. There. Shit. I didn't want him to go in there, but that's okay. I meant to have him guard it, but I guess he's just gonna have to guard it. Like, I don't want him to guard it from the inside. I want you to guard it from the outside. Asshole. Locked and guarded. Anyway. Yeah, it's just growing pains, you know, the early growing pains of getting this whole thing online. And these first investigators don't really matter because we're gonna end up killing them anyway, but it's just kind of annoying. Getting everything started. The other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put some locker hallways. Actually. I'm trying to remember how to... There we go. So that way, I'm not wasting space with barracks, where I'm using hallway space with barracks. Kind of like from the old... I did that a lot in Evil Genius 2 because it made more sense in that one because you can do like 1 room barracks. In fact, you might be able to do one more barracks here now that I just wasted all that space. Nope, you can't. Okay. They're two tile. See, now I'm already giving him something to do. Now he's busy trying to break into that door. And then we're going to build another one and he's going to get busy. Oh, there must be something in here. And then that's just going to happen all through here. And then eventually we're going to put some traps. Once we get traps, we're going to put some gas traps and stuff in these. And different things. And we're going to have them triggered by... but we're going to do that when we do freaks. We get to make mutants. And if you trap a mutant and then set him in a room with a bunch of triggers, he'll just run over the triggers all the time. And the triggers will randomly, you can have the triggers randomly set off traps in other areas. And then you can just have all the traps in all these rooms that are just natural, and you don't want the ones that kill people, but you want the ones that confuse them. There's confuse gas, or whatever it's called. There's the poison one, but you need to build so that the researchers eventually will know how to do it, but you don't want to actually use that one and make it active. You want, once you build a poison gas trap, you can have like nerve gas, like different types of gas. Some of them make people stupid. Some of them confuse them. You just want to confuse the investigators so they leave. See, they're still here. So now this is going to be a 3. And that's a 3. And the reason we're making these areas all 3s too is we don't want our normal minions eventually walking and getting stuck in here either. We don't want them to, they have no reason to be in here. We don't need them to be in here. Like all these areas are simply, this whole area is just a big trap. Later on, once we get our freak production on and other trap mechanisms, we'll do our wind trap in here. That just like sends the investigators around in circles, and we actually get to generate money because the trap will trigger another trap, which will trigger another trap, and they'll have this generated. They'll just be generating a lot of money by going around in a big circle of wind generators that keep blowing them around. It's pretty fun. Okay, now we got our power on. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. We're going to put a couple more of these in. Not too many, but enough to keep the minions out of this area and the investigators confused. And then we need to start working on our control room. Again, eventually our investigators will be stuck up here fucking with shit because all these things are going to be locked. And they're going to be like, we need to see what this is. And they won't be deep into where eventually our control room will be. You don't want to have tons of bodies for storage. Exactly. I don't have any body yet. I don't even have a freezer yet because I didn't kill any. But the moment you kill somebody, you get the freezer unlocked. And then we have to find a place for the freezer, which has to be close enough so that it's not a pain in the ass. I'm thinking probably over here will be our first freezer next, and we'll probably have an armory over here too. Our first armory and freezer area is going to be somewhere like in this. Yep. They didn't go in though, so that's good. Eventually that'll be guarded. I really like to have the entrance somewhere that's really hard to get to usually. I might end up making it over here after all these, but then that means that they can eventually get here. That means that if it doesn't mean they'll eventually get out. I could do that. In fact, if we move that door to there, this is actually going to be a better play. Because then we can blow this corridor up. But we don't want to do it until this is done. And then we'll put a locked door here. But we'll have all of these other locked doors, so it'll still be really hard for them to get here. That as we do different things in the game and in the world, we start unlocking more and more rooms, and there's all kinds of crazy things that we get to do. And then we start researching more fun little toys and then torture devices, and we end up doing like all this crazy stuff. It ends up being this really insane thing. Okay, we do need to give these guys a way in and out. We need this to be a door. And then eventually these are all gonna be locked. Right now it's unlocked because we're still working on building it. We need to save up some money and build a control room. We're losing money fast. We'll probably do a basic control room to generate money, to make it bigger to generate more money kind of thing. We get the free emergency money that you get at some point too. They give you like 20,000 like all the time if you don't have a control room, but that takes a while to generate. But if we don't have enough to build the control room stuff, they will eventually give us the money to do it. So you don't have to worry about like bricking it. Okay, now that is a 3. Eventually a 4. Well, a 3 for now. And now we can blow up that corridor. You need to get the fuck out. Where's Shen at? He's like, hurry up and do this now. So I'm blowing this up so that this isn't as easy to access. And then we can actually make our storage room a little bit bigger too. My money room. That's right. That door was locked. Okay. Now the strong room can be bigger. Now this little alcove, we're gonna have we're gonna need little alcoves and stuff so that we can put like, we're gonna put security cameras in here and eventually and shit like that. So that if we see something that's tagged like coming through here, then we'll be like, aha, and then they'll go get them. Stuff like that. I kind of wish these guys love hanging out in these areas that we don't want them to be in. But eventually they will have more, like, better areas to hang out in. They usually will hang out in the freezers and stuff like that once the storms, once we get all that stuff established. See, now their interest is piqued because these are 3s. They're like, oh, these are 3s. There must be something in here. Locked. Now these 4 will probably never go away for now, and that's okay because like we still have to build stuff. Eventually we have to kill one and interrogate him and all this kind of stuff. So it's fine for now. So now we can lock that door. I don't have a guy in there, do I? That's gold. Shen, you build one. You have to turn autosave off or it'll crash sometimes. Yeah. All right. We need a control room. I'm going to put it right here because eventually we're going to want a long one for the long thing. And we're going to have a way in here and a way out here. Because our evil genius's lair is going to be on this side of the control room. It's going to be connected to it. I have plans for that later. So for now, the control room is going to start here. It's going to be long and thin. Just like she likes it. That was bad. No, not really. Yeah, I know. That's what I was kidding. I have a better idea. Yeah, that's how. We're gonna need space for memory banks. We're gonna want that panel here. We're gonna run out of money like big time. We're gonna want memory banks. Oh, that's right. They need a space. They need space to like do shit. I'm just kind of getting an idea for how big I need the room to be by faux placing things. This should be on pause. In fact, let me pause it. Put a time clock here. The panel will probably be here. And I think it's like 8. 6. I don't remember how big it is. We want 8 control panels. And then we're going to want memory banks. We don't need a lot of memory banks, but it's always good to have more. You have a bunch of people working on here, and then we'll put like objects in there to inspire them and shit at some point. This is going to be the basic idea, though. And then we'll get the upgraded panels. We'll do the better ones at some point. In fact, I'm going to move that to here. Yeah, I think that's about what we want. So for now, we're deleting most of this because we just need to get online and get some money going, and then we'll be able to, because we can't afford all this. This is way too expensive. But we need something to get started with, and that's basically the starting. You need one control panel, one memory bank, and the time clock in a room. But we're just gonna get like the basic shit, and then we're gonna add to it. We start trickling money in. Yeah, I know. I'm pre-planning for future expansion. And then something I'm going to do. Oops. Pause. Because we're actually going to put some barracks back here. Because these guys can just go toot toot toot, and then we're also going to have a staff room over here, and like our food thing's going to be over here, and stuff like that. We can go ahead and do those. I might even do this. I was thinking. Probably put a door in there. I was thinking I could put a walkway. Dose, what's going on, dude? Have you played Evil Genius 1 before, Dose? Evil Genius 2 is kind of like It looks better, but it's like nowhere near as cool as this is. Like there's so many cool things you can do to this that you can't do in the other one. And this is just way better in every way. It's just that Evil Genius 2 looks better, but like the traps barely work. In this, they work. You can make them extremely intricate. Um, you can do so many amazing things in this. Your minion types. I don't know. It's a totally different game. This is 2004 or 2008. We looked it up. I can't remember now already. It's either 2004 or 2008 or something like that when this came out. I think it was 2004. And then Evil Genius 2 came out like last year and it was a total flop. I mean, some people like it, but most of the people who like it haven't played Evil Genius 1. This one's open on purpose because I'm not done putting the doors in yet. I could lock it for now, but then I have to unlock it again when I build these. I guess it doesn't matter. We could lock it. It wouldn't matter. I guess. But basically, this is all going to be a big trap room. Now, we'll get free money at some point. It'll say backup funding because what they need you to, yeah, see, backup funding in operation until control room is built and world domination screen is accessed. $10,000 granted, and they're going to keep doing that until we get enough money to afford a memory bank and a control terminal, a control panel, because that's how you access the world domination screen, and from there you can generate your own money. So this is why I wanted to make the room big enough before that happened. In fact, I probably could have made it a little bigger, but I'm leaving a little bit of an area because one of the things I like to do is I like to have the Evil Geniuses room connected to this so he can see it, like kind of like a little like an overlook. So I like he'll still be in his lair, but I can have him walk over and like stand here and be like, and everyone's like, oh, inspired by him and shit. There it is. And now we've got the world domination and the hotel hubs, which we will do eventually. The hotel stuff. There you go. See, I didn't have to explain it because she just explained it. All right. So now we have some minions who are working. We have some memory banks. We have a control panel. And we have the world domination screen. So now we got to get to work. There's some pesky investigators, and we need to take them out. And in fact, they're right here. And when we do that, we'll get a freezer and an armory. And while we're there, we're gonna send some minions to steal some stuff, but we need another bank. We need another I think we need 2 control panels in order to actually, like, there. See, there's the freezer. There. So now we're gonna have to do that. We have to do a couple of things now. Where's the other agent? Did he leave? Oh, he didn't. We have to kill them all. And then we have to build our freezers, and we have to send some minions out to make some money. Okay. So all right. There's a maid on the island that we have to capture and put her in a holding cell, but again, we don't have the money for that yet either. So we have to build a freezer and a holding cell. And this is going to be the armory that I was talking about that I forgot to leave room for, which will end up being down here. So the first thing we have to do though is we have to generate some money. I know that this region generates money. I think it's one of them is 9. Europe is pretty good. We'll start with Europe. I know that's 9. And we're just gonna put most of our minions in there. Except like a skeleton crew of like maybe 10 people or something. Hold on, that's too many. I can't count today. We're gonna put some minions there, and we're gonna send them there, and they're just gonna steal money. And as long as they're there, they'll just generate some money for us. No. But I'm gonna put one down here in the armory. The reason I'm not putting one over here is because they will find it and destroy it really fast. And then it'll be a pain in the ass. I used to put them closer to the top, and then there's really no reason for it. So I'm actually going to put it in the armory. I'm gonna plan out an armory, a small one. Actually, I was gonna do one up here, and I forgot. I was gonna do a security desk, but I put in a barracks. But we can put one over here. Because as long as there's no illegal shit, you can have an armory here with a security desk, and it's not, it doesn't create heat. but you need a time card. So get desk and then the time card. So we can put a small one there, but we'll do that later. Oops. Right, that's on pause. We're gonna have a food thing here, a staff. We're gonna have like food, staff, stuff like that. There's gonna be a security desk up here just for aesthetic purposes. I used to do this differently. We're gonna wait on that. I am gonna do an armory over here though, for sure. I'm gonna have an armory and a freezer. And what I like to do is I have the I have to plan this out a little bit because it's been a while. Um, let's pause this. So the freezer is gonna need to be bigger at some point. Oh yeah, that's right, the racks. Okay, so we're gonna do. Man, it's been so long since I played this game. I have devious plans though. Cool thing about the freezer is you can block as long as you keep the feet path in the middle. You can put 3 right there, which is good for like a temporary like. In fact, we can even make it smaller. Because all they have to do is go in, put a body in, and then leave. And we'll fuck with that later. Make it a little better at some point. We're gonna need a bigger one eventually. That's fine. But the initial one is gonna be because we're gonna make a jail. And when things die, we just want to send them. We just want to go to the freezer without having to take them out into everything else. And if you have a freezer way over here or somewhere else, what happens is when you interrogate and kill stuff, they will sometimes not take it to the closest freezer, but they will take it way the fuck over here, and they're carrying body bags through the entire fucking base. Now, I know that you're still gonna take, if you kill stuff outside, they're gonna take body bags through the base, but they can go this way. They're just hallway, 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 boom. And that's fine. I'm gonna move this over. We're gonna have a desk. Okay. Actually, we want a little bit bigger. We can put the door here. We need an interrogation area. Let me get the little interrogation thing, and we're gonna have cells here, so we'll have a couple of cells to keep people, and then we'll have interrogation shit right here. Let's just keep it like that, so I don't put a cell there at some point. And then we're gonna have a security desk. We have a door here. This will be their main hallway. Just gonna go to like other stuff. Genius room's gonna be over here somewhere. And we'll have a desk here. A desk here. Maybe we'll have a desk there. There we go. We don't need all of these. Ah, fuck. God damn it. I hate when I do that. Motherfucker. It was all planned and shit. It was nice. Alright. So I don't need all these. All I was trying to do was that we don't need all these freezer racks right away, but we want to have the area built for them. You don't want. And this is the first initial freezer, and then there's like another. Yeah, it's actually a lot. This game is a lot like Dungeon Keeper. Yeah, you pretty much keep on pause. That's what I do. That's why I'm on pause. This game is a lot like Dungeon Keeper. Actually, it's It's like an Austin Powers version of Dungeon Keeper, and you are playing like basically Dr. Evil or a couple of other evil people from Notorious. You can pick 3 different people. There's a Dr. Evil main guy. There's whose name is Maximilian, and then this guy is Shen, and he's basically the bad guy from Enter the Dragon. And then there's another one who's like Cruella, basically, from like 101 Dalmatians. So like you could pick these different people, and then they have different powers. And basically it's like Dungeon Keeper. And you have investigators and agents will start coming in and trying to snoop through your shit. and you're trying to keep them out, keep them at bay, keep them stuck in these things, and then you start building traps and all kinds of different things for them to get stuck in, for them to get lost in. The whole thing. And then there's like missions that you can do because you need to steal shit so you can get bigger things. Like on the world domination screen, there's like a whole other thing going on that interacts eventually with this. And then you get to research and build more things because you've researched more things, and then you eventually get to move to another island when you figure out your how you're going to take over the world. And then you move to like a volcano island, and then you build up all your shit again, and it's like bigger and better, and the whole thing's really cool. And then you end up like finishing your doomsday device, and then you get to push the big red button and do the things. The rooms. I actually do the game sometimes too. I do keep the room. I pause. I do pause. Like I'm pausing these right now. I'm unpausing this one because I need it. But this one's paused because I don't need it. Well, I'm actually going to need that one too. But I also pause the game when I'm planning sometimes because I don't want to fucking deal with a bunch of shit. So I can explain things without having to worry about shit. And right now that's what we're doing. And I'm going to save. You got to save a lot. One of the bugs with the game is if you have it on autosave, it can corrupt your save files, and you don't want to do that, but you want to remember to save a lot. So this is a rather big armory, but there's not a lot of expensive stuff in there. But I want it big so that I can expand it. Like I can expand into it because there's things that I know I'm going to need later. The armory lets you set up security cameras and all these things. And then the big thing about this game is you can do some really amazing traps. And traps can actually... You can have traps set off other traps that are triggered by other traps. And you have different trigger mechanisms. And the whole thing turns into like this whole meta where you can generate money by just keeping investigators stuck in these crazy traps. And the whole thing is really fun. There's so many really cool aspects of this game. I really love it. There's only a couple issues. Is it's a pain in the ass to kind of get it going right now. You need the unofficial patch, which is kind of hard to find, so that it doesn't crash. And if you're going to try to stream it, that's like a whole nother thing. Like getting this stable so I can stream it was a big deal. I basically was able to play it from Steam straight, and then I know that you want the unofficial patch because it adds the bonus CD stuff, and it keeps the game from crashing all the time. And once that's there, you can pretty much play the game as much as you want. But if you want to stream it, that's a whole nother issue. I spent a lot of time today trying to get that working. So now we're going to unpause that. We are pausing this room, although because it doesn't matter until this is built. We really don't even need to do that until this is built, because we can't get into it. So when this is built, we'll unpause this, and we'll build this, and then we'll unpause this and build this. We do need to get... These rooms are set right now. These doors are set to 2 because we need to move these body bags as soon as this freezer is built. Because if they don't, the investigators will start seeing the body bags and they'll send troops, and it'll start getting crazy. A little too early than I wanted. These guys are actually generating money even though we can't see it. They're stealing from this area because I just happen to know how much this is worth. But it's also generating a lot of heat, which means that investigators will start coming by. As we build more barrack lockers, we get more minions. And the more minions we have, the more we can send out to steal more money and to build more things. One of the things the unofficial patch does is set the minions to 150. The game comes with where they're set to 100, but it's really, really, really hard to finish the game with just 100 minions. The game takes a hell of a lot longer because you have to build certain minions for certain things, but then destroy minions so you have room to build other minions that you need for each task, and it becomes a real huge pain in the ass. And having 150 minions makes it a hell of a lot easier to do that with. Having 200 minions is optimal. I don't know why they settled on 150 on the unofficial patch, the community patch, but they did set it to 150 by default on that. But I usually 200 feels comfortable. It's not too much. Anything over that is too much. Then you just start getting crazy and it's dumb. Then the game becomes too easy, because then you're just generating like way too much money way too fast. 200 is about right, and you never end up really even with 200 when you have 200 as your cap. You usually end up about 100 and like 70 or something. But that's because you're trying to do all of the things. You don't necessarily have to have everything researched and everything unlocked and everything done. Because the beauty of the game is, if you don't do all of the things before finishing it, you can actually finish it a lot earlier than you need to, so that when you play it next time, it's different. Because maybe you'll unlock different things as opposed to all of the things. You'll have different, and you'll come up with a different way to get through the game quicker or whatever. We have to be cognizant of our power, because all of this power is still only 140, which isn't shit. Oh, this guy isn't stuck, is he? Oh, fuck. He is stuck. I just realized there's a guy stuck there. So I actually have to remove the power to get him unstuck. And then build one again. That sucks. Because if he's stuck, when a super agent shows up, they can automatically teleport, or regular agents can automatically teleport into any room where there's somebody that's stuck. If there's a way for someone to be stuck in a room, it will negatively affect you. So there, now I have to rebuild a fucking thing. Basically, they can pop up through the floor and destroy things. The reason they do that is they don't want you to build situations where it's impossible for an investigator to check it out, because that's the whole point of the game, is you're trying to evade heat. The strategy of the game is to try to do things without while maintaining how much heat and how much exposure the investigators have to things that generate more heat and things like that. And if you can, and they don't want you to block things off so that people can't access them. And if you do that, what they do is they'll have a mechanism where the investigator will pop up through the floor and destroy shit, or blow up your room. It's like kind of fucked up. Why was this difficult to get streaming? Because of the way that you have it set. You have to use like a different program. I used a program called Windows Borderless Gaming. So because you have to set it to windowed mode in order to stream it right, because otherwise if you go off over here, hold on. The easiest way to do this is to pause it. Nope. Is to do that. If I go off screen over here, it'll crash without it being in Windows mode, in windowed mode. But the game doesn't default to windowed mode. It's old, and it doesn't default to the resolutions that I'm running it at because it's old. It doesn't have those. So those options need to be added in. You need to find the stuff that lets you do it. Windowed borderless gaming doesn't work with this program. I had to find a different borderless gaming program that works with this particular program. And it will crash the game if you alt tab out of it. And click on like a different monitor. It's just an old game, and old games are real fussy about streaming them. Some of them are, some of them aren't. This was one of those ones, unfortunately. Okay, so we have this done. So now we're gonna build this. Once we build the armory, we can capture the maid, which is who's running around on the island. When we capture the maid, we'll be able to make a valet. And once we get the valet, we'll be able to unlock the security desks. And I think the staff rooms. And then we'll be able to get we'll have a kidnap a guard from the world screen, which will allow us to make a security guard. Which will eventually, and then we'll be able to do a technician at some point too, so. All right, so one area, these areas are open now because we have 4 panels unlocked. We're gonna want more. We're gonna want 8. And then eventually when we upgrade them, we can downsize. We're gonna want more memory banks too. And this will unlock most of this, and then we can start looking for missions. We can put these guys on plotting so they can look for more missions eventually. But I want to get some more money in first before we start doing all that. I had a couple of games I streamed my desktop with hidden icons to have the game show up. Huh. Well, I can get the game to show up in OBS, but the problem is if I do anything off of the screen, it'll crash the game because I'll have to alt tab out or anything. So, but I managed to get it working with this one particular Windows borderless gaming program, but it was a different one than the one I was using. And that seemed to make it all work. But you also have to set up the resolution to your desktop resolution. So if you're running 1080p, you have to set the game resolution to that, because if you're running it in windowed windowed full screen and you're running a different resolution, you can also crash the game because your desktop resolution is different. It just, so there's a lot of things that you have to do to get it to work while you're streaming. Mainly because of the alt tab issue, and because I have to deal with things off of this screen while I'm streaming, right? I need to be able to access OBS for different reasons. I need to type into chat. I need to check Discord. I need to, you know, whatever the hell I'm doing. I think I forgot to even post a tweet. Usually I do a tweet I think I even forgot to send my tweet out that I was playing Evil Genius 1. But oh well. I knew I forgot to do something. Anyway, as soon as this armory is done, and then we're gonna start building the freezer. And then when the freezer's done, these body bags will be moved to the freezer, and I'll feel better about them because investigators won't accidentally find them. Now, until you interrogate the maid, you can actually just do whatever the fuck you want, and investigators will not show up after you kill the initial ones. But you can't milk that too long because then, like, you won't be able to do a lot of other things. But if you really want to, and you'll generate a lot of heat, and the game won't respond to the heat until much later. But then when you do build the maid, they'll all rush you at the same time, because as soon as you interrogate the maid, that'll turn everything on. And if your heat is built up really high from doing all these nefarious things, you'll just get bum rushed. So I could technically build I could build up 100 fucking minions if I wanted to right now. Do all of the activities before interrogating the maid that I can, and get a shit ton of money from all of these places we're stealing. But our heat, see how like this region, there's a heat monitor right here? That heat will peg at some point if I do all this stuff. And then the moment I interrogate the maid, all of the best investigators from all of the areas, because the heat will be pegged, will come at me at the same time, and I'll get overrun and probably lose. So, like, there's ways to exploit things, but you don't necessarily want to do them, right? I do want these and these. Before I do the maid. I'm going to steal enough money to make these and have them done. Because this is going to help me. Having this stuff online is going to help a lot. And we're going to have more workers. We need more barracks too. Well, before I do that. I didn't actually make a real barracks yet. We'll make this into a barracks. Let's see, where can I put... That'll give us some more minions. Okay, they moved the body bags so we can lock these doors again. And we're going to start adding some more of these doors. We're going to need some more power soon too. Until we get the nuclear power plant, we're going to have to use, like, it's just going to suck. It's just what happens. You just end up having to use a lot more power and then eventually destroying. Like, I'm probably going to have to build another power plant for more power, and then eventually I'll be able to destroy them and build the nuclear power plants, which will fit a lot more power in a lot smaller spaces. The only thing I'd want to click out of the game for is to mute mic. Today I was setting up a keyboard to see if I can mute mic button while the game is up, having to figure it out. Yeah, but like there's things that will happen, like if I get raided, I want to shout people out, or if I need to ban somebody, or if I need to fiddle with other things, you're kind of going to want to mess with that eventually. It's good to be able to have a game running in Windows that at least I can pause and then still do things like, hey, everybody, or whatever. If I need to send a link, it's just nice to have that accessibility, and to not have it really sucks. And if you fiddle enough, you can get most games running and stream them. You just have to spend a lot more time than you want to do that. Let's see. Did I build the barracks area? That's only a couple. We're gonna need another barracks area. We could do this and just make this bigger, because this is just traps anyway. Although that was bait, but that's okay. This will still be bait because they'll check this stuff out and then they'll see that. Like usually I make like a giant, like an actual barracks where they hang out, and we're gonna need one where they're gonna hang out and they're gonna sleep and they're gonna do like other things. But for now, you just kind of want to fudge it to get lockers so that you can build more minions so that you can do more things. But there's like you can build a proper barracks at some point. Barracks don't generate heat, so that's why you can put them pretty much anywhere as a temporary measure. Right? And once you get the upgrade, the locker upgrade, you will get like the same space for 2 lockers will be like 5 minions worth or something. Like it's it's like way more efficient to do that. Let's see. Hold on. If I do this right, then I can blow all this up and turn this whole thing into barracks. And that'll actually be a good idea. And then our traps will be down here. Uh-oh. We have investigators. Wait, we shouldn't have investigators coming. I think we're building heat. I think that's what they're talking about. I think that was the video for heat, because we haven't interrogated the maid yet. When we capture her, we put her in the cell. All right, so now that we did this, we can actually seal that off Oops. He needs to be able to get out of there. And now we can rebuild this into something else. I'm going to do lockers here. And then this is actually going to be bed space. Because you do actually want some bed space at some point. Because they will use it. And then eventually you can use like weightlifting things and things like that. We're going to you're going to be like, I'm going to be rebuilding my shit like 6 or 7 times. Like you constantly rebuilding your base while you're doing things. And a big thing is like locker space is a kind of a big deal. Once you get enough lockers, you can have enough minions, and then because you're going to need minions to generate money and do more things. It's like this ongoing thing, and then eventually you get the better lockers, and you can have smaller areas, and you won't need a massive amount of barrack space. You just need a little bit of it for a lot of lockers, and that'll sustain your minions. Also, as your notoriety goes up, you don't need as many minions. But what you will need is bed space at first, because probably more than you want to. And that's because they will get tired. Oh, that's actually no. We don't want that here. One thing you want to do is avoid having a block. Damn it. Put the bed over here. See, by having that one corner space that was blocked by a bed, that actually would allow a agent to come in and fuck this up. And we don't want to do that. And so this, we're going to put lockers on this side. And then we're going to put beds here and here. And then these are going to be part of this trap system. Of confusing agents. It's been a while since I had some tacos. I have a spare laptop set on my bed next to me with the stream running on Twitch stuff. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's another option. If you're using 2 computers to stream, then you have a lot more options, because you can just have one computer. You can run the game full screen mode and just have like, you can do anything and just have it be desktop, where OBS is just recording everything on that computer, and it'll be whatever the game is, and you don't have to worry about it. My big issue is I'm doing everything on one computer on multiple monitors. And so that's where I end up running into like other issues, where I have to like figure out, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to make it work with multiple monitors on one computer, doing multiple things? It gets a little convoluted. Okay, that's going to be locked. This is the only one that's going to be a 2 for now, so that I can continue putting these doors in. I gotta watch my power though, because once it starts getting close, it's gonna start getting lame, and then these will start breaking down, and it's just, the power sucks until you get it going. Let's just put it that way. Until you get like the nuclear power plant, it just starts to suck. And we will end up using more power constantly. Okay, before I interrogate the maid, I'm gonna make sure these are all built. I'm gonna move these guys over here. 12. We're gonna put 12 there to keep 11, 13 there to keep 11 on our base. Now we're doing this because this region has heat, but after people aren't there for a while, the heat will die down. Now, nobody is coming to our island because of any heat right now, because we haven't interrogated the maid. That's just like a little thing that we're going to exploit a little bit, but we don't want to exploit it too much, because if the heat goes too high, like I said, if we haven't cooled off enough of the heat, all the investigators will bum rush our island at the same time and fuck us up. We got to be careful about that. One of the things we are going to want to do, we're going to take one of our guys. Let me pause it real quick. We're going to take him off of here. We're going to move him to explore an area to help us find things that we know we're going to need eventually. Like here, we're going to put him here, and we're going to put it on plotting. This is going to uncover more of these things. These are little missions. Some of them are items that we will find. These are some early missions that we can do to get notoriety. Notoriety helps us open up more missions and recruit more minions. And once we hit a certain level of notoriety, we'll get more henchmen, which are the good minions, like this guy, right? Like one of our henchmen, because of who we are, we start out with where is he? We start out with one henchman, and depending on who we start with, it's different. So this guy is the voodoo guy. He's actually, each henchman has special tricks. This one eventually will, smooth operator will make people forget things. And then I don't remember what this one does. Psychic terror. I think he just scares the shit out of people. Some of them are way better. Like the best one I like is Eli Barracuda. He has a gun. He can do a far shot with his gun from a long way and kill people. And then he can rally people, minions, to help him out. The best one is Juby, who has a teleport. He's a samurai guy, and we're going to end up getting him, but we can't get him till later with this evil genius, because that's just, like, depending on who the evil genius is that you're picking, the henchman that you unlock will unlock at different notorieties. But Jubilee is really cool because he has this teleport, and he has a samurai sword, and he can do a one shot to any bad guy on the map with the samurai sword one time once he charges it up. And then he also has this teleport, which is really handy because if you need one of your henchmen to get somewhere to handle some shit really fast, like that's the guy, because he will teleport anywhere on the map and instantly go there. And then you can, if you save his teleport and his eviscerate, you can teleport immediately somewhere and eviscerate the thing at the same time and just be like, boom, done, situation handled. You know, those are really good henchmen. So when you're picking the guy that you want, it might do some good to research a little bit on the interwebs, which guy starts with which henchman. I believe Max starts with Jubilee right away. Which is amazing. Max is the best evil genius to start with anyway. He's the one that looks like Dr. Evil. He has the biggest influence aura. Like, see, I have an influence aura, but it's kind of small. Max's is huge. Actually, I think Alexis is even bigger, but Max's is pretty good. And he also gets a bonus to research speed and I think uncovering acts of infamy. Like, this guy's on plotting, right? So eventually he will uncover an act of infamy, but on Max he will do it a lot faster. So depending on the evil genius you pick depends on different factors to the game. He's kind of the most fun, but I haven't played Shen in a long time. I haven't done it very much, and Ara wanted me to play Shen, so I picked Shen. So it's her fault. So I can blame her in case everything goes wrong. Just kidding. We're going to save this again. Autosave is busted. Turn it off and manually save. Otherwise, you can your save files can get corrupted. So that is a bug in the game. It sucks. It just is. That's right. Okay, we're starting to bring in some more money. We got most of our panels. Once we get these done, then we don't have to worry about buying them anymore, and these are really expensive. And I'd rather get them done and see how much power we have once they're on, because they also generate, like, use a lot of power. And if we're good on power, we don't have to worry so much about our power plant. We still won't be able to spam too many doors because they do take power, but we'll be able to kind of put more of our, once we get this stuff all worked out, we'll be able to know how many doors we can add, because this is going to help us so much when the investigators come. Like, it's insane how good this is. Just having these locked doors everywhere, because they come in and they're attracted to locked doors, and they'll go, oh shit, and then they'll try to spend time lock picking a door, and then they'll go in and they'll be like, in here, well, they'll have 4 doors to try to figure out how to lockpick, and then they'll spend time doing that, and they'll go, oh shit, and then they'll get stuck in these areas, in this maze of locked doors, trying to figure out where to go, and it'll waste a lot of their time, and eventually they have to leave the island. So once they've wasted all of the time that they can, they're still going to try to get out. Eventually, when they do get out, they'll immediately have to go home and they won't have anything to report. It helps a lot. Now, at some point, infiltrators will come in and try to blow the doors up. And then we'll just have to repair them. But it's cheaper that they blow the doors up than they end up blowing up, like, you know, our control room or something like that. And even though it looks like things are wide open, the way that the minions work, they're gonna, like, the investigators, it'll be hard. Like, some will make it down here, but not as many as you think will just make it down right in here, even though this shit's wide open. It's a long hallway. Because there's nothing that attracts them here. They will try to piggyback off other people. Locked doors are attractive though, so one of the things that I do once in a while is I will have a locked door guarded by 2 guards somewhere. And that will, like, they'll spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to deal with that. And eventually, if they do break in, the guards will capture them and then take them to the infirmary. But that's bait too, right? So, like, we need to set that up somewhere over here. I usually set one up over here, but we have the armory. This we're going to put cameras. We might do it like right here somewhere, but we want staff room stuff here. In fact, I might do it right here. Let's move this. Yeah. We'll do it there and here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a camera here. So that if we do have to flag somebody for some kind of emergency, like, it's a straight shot. It'll see a lot of stuff. So we'll put a camera here, and we'll put a guard. We'll put this door on guard, and there'll be 2 guard places for the guards to stand to guard the door. And that will attract. And this one we'll put on a 2. And that will attract the investigators to this area. They might go through here because it's a 2. And then they'll see that this is a 3 and they'll want to get there. In fact, we might even move this one. We'll move this one to like here. There. Because I do want armed guards toward the front anyway. It's always good to have guards. Just guards guarding a door. Like if you set a door to 4, that's a high priority door. You want them to guard it. So you will always have guards once you get the guards manning like this door. And in order to do that, in fact, we'll move this door here. See, now we're generating some extra money, which is good, because we got all our things built. These guys are tired, but that's why there's beds. He needs help. Oh, his smarts he's out of smarts because he's kind of worn out. You can also do this, by the way, but once you do this, it's hard to get it back. You can hold shift and hit the arrow keys to rotate the map. Yeah, these guys are kind of worn out from working and not having anything to, like, any kind of leisure. So we're going to work on that soon. We're going to have a staff room pretty soon. But I'm just trying to get some things established. Okay, so this door is going to be a 4. This door is going to be guarded. So the only place they can stand guard is here and here. So they will do that. Eventually we're going to have a camera here. And that camera is going to shoot down this hallway. And that's actually going to be a camera that guards this entrance. What they're actually going to be guarding is the camera, but it's going to look like they're guarding this door, right? Because it's a 4. So we'll just have, that way we always have people here. In case shit pops off, there's people here to do stuff about it. The rest of these are going to be these little door fucking mazes. Now, we're looking at my power. We can still make a couple more of these, and I would really like to get this started before we get the maid going. Hopefully that's not too many doors for our power. And then that way our little, see this guy's guarding? He's guarding that door right now. Eventually, like when we get guards, the guards will guard that door. This is going to be very attractive to investigators, and they're going to want to go here. And they're also going to want to check out all of these. They're not going to be as interested in this stuff because there's nothing over here. There's no lock, there's no guarded doors. They might, if they make their way down here, they might want to snoop into this because it's a regular door. But I might put a door here first, so at least they have to go through it. I'm not sure yet. We don't want them in the control room, but it's actually pretty safe to have it this close. At some point, I might move the control room door to over here. In fact, I should probably do that now. We do want my evil genius layer to be able to peek in on this, but we're going to do it at this part. So we can probably put a hallway here. I don't want to encroach on where the evil genius layer is going to be, though. So maybe we should, we want as much space as we can, because that's going to be over here somewhere. And it's going to maybe extend down here. It has to be big enough for the stupid room and all that shit. But we can't do any of that until we interrogate the maid, which we might be able to do that right now. If we can plan it. Do we get the... No, we don't get the layer yet. Okay. We will get it soon. I think I'm going to move these... There we go. Maybe we'll even move that one. All right, and now we can put a door here. And we'll put our clock there. We can blow this up. In fact, we can remove this door completely. And then when we blow this up, if this isn't part of the hallway, I hope this is part of the hallway. Please be part of the hallway. I hope I didn't fuck that. It is. Okay, good. Now that it's part of the hallway, actually, I did that wrong. We wanted to move the door here. I don't want to buy a new door. Let's use this one for now. I'm lazy. So we're going to move this door here. When the door's moved, this will block this area so we can blow this area up. Blowing this area up will seal the control room off from this completely, which I didn't at first want to do because I wanted it close to the staff room and stuff, which we're going to put over here in the food. But it's close enough to the barracks that I think we'll be fine because it'll just go this way. There'll be some barracks, there'll be staff room and stuff over here. This way we can make our staff room stuff bigger over here. We're not going to have to worry about this being a thing. There. See, now this is even less vulnerable from the main hallway, which is just giving me a little sense of security. In fact, and speaking of security, we'll probably put our armory, put a armory right here when we do the control desks. I'm not going to build it yet, but once we get a desk, then we can have a desk here. So there will be like a security area. I don't know. Maybe we don't even do that. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. We do want a door here. We definitely want fire extinguishers here. And I also forgot, we want fire extinguishers. We do have one there. Let's put another one here, just in case. Always good to have fire extinguishers in the power plant in case something happens. Now I got to be careful. We got our power starting to beat. We're at like half, right? We still have enough to do what I want. We're gonna start turning these rooms now. This is gonna be a 3. This is gonna be a 3. At some point, we're gonna put these back to 2, or we're gonna put traps in here. Once we have ways to trigger them remotely. So that people, when they get stuck in here, they'll also be like dizzy and stupid and hallucinations and stuff like that. Because there's all kinds of crazy little traps that we're going to be able to put in here. This itself is a trap. But within the trap, there's traps. Now there is actually, within all of these traps, there is actually like a legit, like this is a thing, right? So we got to be careful that they don't actually get in here. Actually, no, that we might set as a guarded door. I don't know. Let's leave that off for a minute. I think this is going to be a guarded door. But the rest of this shit don't matter. But we don't want them to... Okay, this one... Alright. The thing is, when you have a guarded door, you need... Fuck. I gotta figure this out. You don't want the guards to see them breaking into a level 3 area, because then they'll arrest them. So you want a level 2 area, but you want to bait them into the level 3 area. I don't know, it's kind of complicated. So this maybe is a level 2 door, and this is a level 2 door. And the rest of these are 3s. This is going to be a 3. That's going to be a 3. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's going to be a 3. There's going to be a 2 here. And that's going to be a 2. This is going to be a 3. But that has to be a 2 first. So we can make that a 3. So yeah, it gets a little confusing, right? We just don't want the guarded, like we want this, we don't want people going in here, and if they do, we want them arrested. Because this is our gold. We like, this is real security. But we also want our baited area over here. We don't want them arrested going into the baited area. We want them, but we want them baited into going into these areas and being like, oh cool, and sneaking in and trying to break into these things. So it's kind of like complicated, right? If it's a level 3, they'll get arrested. If it's a level 2, I don't think they will. But it's still enough that they'll piggyback off people coming in here. And maybe they will, I don't remember. If they are, we'll just figure this out. Maybe we don't even have to do anything with this and don't have to worry about it. But for now, we'll just leave it like it is and we'll see if it works. And if it doesn't, we'll change some things. It's not the end of the world. This one can be a 3. All these are going to be 3s. See, no one's allowed to go into 3s. Only your evil self can use the door. Oh, that's right. Or our henchmen can also use them. That's the thing. So that's, I think, maybe we need to set, this is a 2, this is a 2, and this is a 2. This is a 3. So that we can actually get a guard to here. So there is a path, but there's still bait doors as 3s. Yeah, I think that's the play. I think that'll work. Bring Shen to control room. That's a good idea. That'll help with all this. Okay. I do need a little bit more power before we do this thing. We're gonna make a supplemental power room over here. I'm gonna blow this up right here. And so that we have, in fact, we're gonna do it this way. So that we can figure out what we're gonna do with this later. And then I'm gonna put more power over here. Temporarily. Needs to be 3. Needs to be 2 to get into it. Wait. Okay. So we can put a power plant there. And then we need, because they can't be blocked. So we're going to need one here, but there has to be doorways so they're not blocked, right? This will do. Okay. So what this does is allows us to build these we can blow up this whole room at any point when it's done. But temporarily it's a power plant. And I probably should have made these, hold on. I should actually have made this like that, so that I can blow up the whole room when I need to and not have it affect the corridor like I did that one. Okay, now people are starting to take off. Oh, okay, so here's something that you can do. If people are losing loyalty, this will inspire a lot of loyalty, is you can shoot a worker, or you can kill him. This one doesn't have a gun. But when you kill one of your minions, it generates, it like buffed the loyalty of all these guys instantly. And then the other thing that he can do is he can laugh. When you torture, one of the things you can do is you make these little torture devices, and the torture devices are silly. They're not you know, real torture devices, right? It's like one of them's a mixing bowl, like a giant mixing bowl for a kitchen. You put them in there and it mixes them up, and like just goofy stuff like that, right? Like there's like a vat of like goo, and like there's all these dumb things, and they're silly. They're like goofy torture things, and then he can laugh at them when you're torturing them, and when he laughs at the people being tortured, all the people around them get more loyalty. All right, so we're going to turn this on because we're going to need this extra power, and that's going to be enough to sustain us for a little while. Mainly because we went with the extra doors, but this is all part of like the big door trap, so the big bait door trap. And now that it's all in place, 2, 2, 2, right? But those are 3s. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's a 2, so they can get in here. That's a 2. That should be a 2. That should be a 2. That should be a 3. And then these should be 3 or 2. And these should be 3s, and these should be 3s. These are 3s as bait. These are 2s because we don't want our guards to see them breaking into a 3 and then arrest them. They might arrest them from breaking into a 2. I don't remember. I hope not. We'll see what happens. I'll rearrange the whole thing. If they do, I'll just turn the guards off, and then I'll just leave these as 3s and let them go to town on them. In fact, I just like to have a guard near the entrance in case I need something pops off. I need guards, you know, manning, like somebody on guard patrol so that I can just, if something happens out here, we can just go whoop. So that's why I keep guards over there. Yeah, that should be good. And this could be further jail expansion if I need it. Which is why there's extra room over here or whatever. Training rooms. There's probably going to be some training rooms. We're going to have a lot of training rooms that we're going to need down here. Mostly the rest of this space is going to be used for training rooms. The evil genius layer. Staff rooms. Food rooms. The research facility, which is going to be like way over here somewhere. Science lab, yeah. Totally. And then there's space here because we're going to put stuff in here to help boost these guys. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to turn, once we get a what's it called? Once we get a training room access, we're going to actually make a 4x4 area of this a training room, and we're going to put 2 mouse mazes right here. So it'll still block the room, but those mouse mazes will automatically put smarts into the control room. And then when we get the big panel thing, that will also generate smarts into these guys. And then our evil genius layer will be here, and we'll put 2 decorations here that will also generate happiness into here. And then so the evil genius room is going to have like an alcove right here, and then it's going to be this whole thing over here. So anyway, I think once we get these guys done here, we have to watch our heat. Oh shit, that heat's getting big. Okay, let's move these guys. Pause it though. Leave 1 to plot. Move 1 here. Well, to make some money. Then we're gonna plot, 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 plot. See, he was plotting and they found that. That's why I was plotting for that. We're going to pull him off. Plot. 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 Oh, wait. Well, yeah, it'll be fine. So we need a little bit. We still need people making money here because this is a 9, but there's not much heat over here. It'll move this heat down a little bit, but these guys are still going to be plotting. Actually, we want to move this plot. There's nothing in the Midwest. We want to move it over here. And then we can also do this. Okay. So all of our workers are accounted for. They're going to plot this, and we're going to move 4 workers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And him over here. And as soon as they land, we're going to do this mission so we can steal library blueprints. And this is going to allow us to make a another room that we're going to need as well. The research, the study room, or whatever it's called. Now we've got that going on. We're gonna go ahead. Actually, we can't use him yet. Hold on. We need him to kidnap the maid. So we'll put another worker over there. We're gonna kidnap the maid as we find her. Yeah, I know. Okay. Arrest her. And then they'll throw her in here. In fact. And then we'll interrogate her. We'll get the interrogation device. That'll open up. And then once she becomes a valet, we'll be able to build all kinds of other shit that we need to. Staff rooms, research rooms, the food room. And when we get the food room with the mixing bowl, then that'll start the other missions. Did I set my time clock? I think I just I usually leave them default. Yeah, that's fine for now. I usually default works. Unless there's a specific reason. Like if I really need them to be like, no matter what, you have to fucking do this shit. Like more than the normal people, default's fine. I generally put 1 tick in the armory because this is gonna man the this is where the what are those called? Can't think of the name right now. The security fucking stations we want manned all the time when we start putting in our cameras and shit. So those are going to be our time clock's going to be ticked up 1 so that they work harder. So that's always manned. And within maybe even 2 if our prisons start filling up, because we're going to want these, like when we start capturing secret agents and stuff, like special agents, then we're going to want this ticked up even more so that there's more people always here hanging out in case one of the agents escape. Then they can subdue them immediately. Things like that. Okay, he's got her. Let's save this. Now these guys, see how we set them on plot? Now all of a sudden more things are being discovered. So we're going to pause this real quick. These guys are ready to go. We're actually just going to do this mission. When we unpause it. These guys are discovering things. So once they've discovered just something, I'm going to move them to here. I'm going to move them around a little bit so that they can plot other area. Like this guy's discovered a lot, so I don't need to plot this a lot, right? I need to plot like maybe over here. We're gonna need to plot the Cuba thing. Anywhere where they've discovered things, we don't need them to stay on it too long, because that means that things have already been discovered, and as your notoriety goes up, it'll show more things. It means you've plotted enough. And actually, we're going to add a little more to our money. Right there. And while we're doing that, I'm going to eat my pineapple cup. Because I'm a little hungry. I bought me a fruit cup. A little pack of fruit cups that were on sale. The pineapple ones are pretty good. Okay, so this mission is underway. It only takes 2 workers to do the mission, but I put 6 because it takes a long time. And it might not even pass still, even at that. This one takes a while. And if they fail, well, it is what it is. It shouldn't get caught though, because I haven't interrogated the maid yet. I've captured her, but I haven't interrogated her. Oh shit. Hold on. I just spilled pineapple juice. All right. All right, so that's got a couple minutes left. The new thing available for purchase is the interrogation chair. But because we haven't interrogated her yet, they're not going to come after us yet. But we're getting close. That's the last one that triggers everything. That puts us into stage 2, and then we have to worry about the heat and all that stuff. But I generally want to get a couple missions done before I do that. The next one we're going to do is this one. Oh, we need technicians. Okay, we won't do that one yet. Okay, can't do that one. If there's anything that just requires workers, we can do that. But if we're not getting anything out of it, it's not necessarily worth it. Yeah, I think that's it for now. And we're gonna move these plotting workers now that they've plotted things. So they don't generate too much heat. And we're going to move them all here because there's no heat here. So we're going to add heat to it again by putting workers there and go back to steel. Oops. So we're going to round up. Now we've plotted some things, but we need to make some money again. So we're going to put them back on steel. Now that's going to kick our heat up with this area for a little while, but it'll go away pretty quick. We just need a little bit of extra something. Now this is the point before I interrogate the maid. Okay, we got the thing. Cool. Let's go ahead and take these guys home. And that guy is plotting. So now we can make that. We can make our archives. Now we still haven't done the maid yet. So we can still generate money without worry. And this is the point at which, if you want to, what time is it? Well, I don't know if we're gonna do that yet or not. If we want to, we could actually, this would be a great time if you're playing, to like let the game run. Take all of your workers, like most of them, not all of them, and have them steal in all of these areas, all of the 9 areas, and then go watch Netflix for a couple hours before you interrogate the maid. And then when you come back, you'll have a nice little cushion of money. And then make sure you take all the people out of the region before you interrogate the maid, once you get all that money. And then make sure you wait until all the heat in all that region that you generated goes back down. And once it all goes back down, then go ahead and interrogate the maid, and you'll have a nice little pile of cash. Your heat you won't be invaded. If you don't wait for all that heat to go down before you interrogate the maid, you're gonna just be raided by everybody, and they're gonna wipe your shit out. Chat is sitting over the left side of screen to see things. I mean, if you want me to remove chat, I can. Oh. All right. So this seems pretty basic right now, and it is pretty basic right now because there's a whole lot more to this. This is like the very beginning fundamental of the game. Now, let's see. I'm gonna let these guys plot for a while. I got 10 here. I'm gonna go ahead and put in 10 there. And 10 there. And we're gonna steal a bunch of money from those areas. And we're gonna go ahead and let that generate for a little while. Um, just to give us a little cushion. Now, once we interrogate the maid, what's going to happen is we'll open up more avenues. We'll open up the ability to start getting more workers. Right now, we just have the simple yellow minions. But once that happens, we interrogate the maid and she becomes a valet. That introduces you into the game of how to create different minion types by stealing and interrogating people. The missions to interrogate different types of people will show up on the world screen. One will be a guard, like a security guard. One will be like an IT guy or something, a scientist or something like that. So we can do the technician. See, in fact, it's telling us right now. So we'll let them explain it. Right. Like they said, that's basically what happens. And then like a valet will allow us to have a training room. So then we can train. Oh, I guess the maid died because she was in captivity for too long. Well, she'll come back. I'm not worried about it. We'll have another chance to do it because we didn't interrogate her. Anyway, so what's gonna happen? Move this guy over a little bit. Now, the problem with doing what I'm doing is all of our current minions will end up deserting at some point because we don't have all the facilities to make them better because we didn't do the maid. We don't have like the staff room or the infirmary or any of these cool things that we can have to make their lives more comfortable. Although we can. We did steal the bookcases. So we can actually do that. We'll go ahead and make the research thingy so they can study. But there's a lot of rooms that we're going to uncover. And the biggest thing that we're going to uncover is a thing called training areas. And the training rooms will allow us to train all kinds of workers at some point. We're going to have a technician, we're going to have a scientist, and then those from the scientists, that's going to break down into 3 different types. We're going to have a theoretical physicist, a quantum physicist, a biologist. I think there's another one. I don't remember. The guard will end up training into a mercenary, a kung fu specialist, a sniper, a marksman, a couple others. I think that's it. I don't remember. And then like the valet will turn into like a spin doctor, a diplomat, like just various different hospitality type minions. It feels like I'm forgetting something. Anyway, there's a lot of different minions that we're going to start getting, and then we're going to start getting missions like we're going to have other evil geniuses show up. We're going to build ourselves our evil genius lair. So we'll have his own little special room with his own special table. And then all the other evil geniuses will show up and we'll have a big conference. And then like we'll get more stuff to do in the game, like figure out what it is we're going to do. We're going to start wanting investigators to show up so that we can interrogate them because they're going to have doomsday data We're going to start mining data from different people to come up with our plot to rule the world. And once we have different doomsday data, then we can pick the device we want. We're going to make a research facility. We're going to start creating research equipment. That's going to allow us to process the data and also make all kinds of more, like, tons of shit to add to our base that does all kinds of crazy things. Different traps, different buffs, different rooms, different abilities to do tons of shit. And the thing just keeps snowballing. We'll be able to steal things in the world, like big relics, or like Ming vases, or like totem poles, the Eiffel Tower. Like, there's Uber loot. There's like crazy things that we have, like, that we can steal around the world to become ours, that will influence our minions. We're going to have hundreds of minions doing crazy things. It just completely snowballs into this whole huge game. And then we'll get another island that will create, that's way bigger. That's a volcano island in the jungle setting. Oh yeah, and then there's hotels. We have to build hotels as a front. And we staff the hotels with like casinos and like hotel rooms and bars and things like that to keep the tourists busy, because tourists are going to start showing up. And that's a front for our evil organization, is that it's like a island destination. And then, you know, so there's all this stuff is going to keep happening. I'm discussing it because I'm eating some candy, and we're generating money throughout the world by stealing things from different areas. And that just takes a while. And in fact, like I said, what a lot of people do at this point is I'll just like leave this running for a couple hours and then go watch some Netflix or something. And then it'll just end up generating a shit ton of money. And then you can spend the rest of the game not focusing so much on money, because there's so much other shit to worry about in the game, beside also having to worry about money. I mean, you're still going to be making so much money, it doesn't matter, but like, it's nice to have that cushion, because if something goes wrong and you don't have money to fix it, you're going to basically brick the game, and then you're going to lose. And that's fine. You know, it's okay to lose a game. This game was made back when games were hard, complicated, and you could lose. And you very much can lose in this game, a lot. I just lost a junior mint, in fact. Not in a patient. That was a Seinfeld episode. But I need to find it. I think I found it. I don't want to eat it, but I gotta make sure I don't want ants and shit. Oh, there it is. God damn it. Come on. Oops. Damn it. I just squished it. Alright. Well, anyway. So while we're just sitting here generating a bunch of money, I'm going to call it a stream, because that's really all there is left to do for a couple hours anyway. And then next time we stream, we'll play more, and we'll have money, and we'll do all these crazy things. This game is a ton of fun, though. And it gets really goofy. And there's a lot of fun like graphical, goofy things that happen that we're gonna watch while they play out, and we can do, we get to make like crazy trap devices and create like mutants that like we can manipulate to fucking run our traps, and they can chase off the tourists and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. This game just gets so huge. But this point of the game was the very, very beginning. This foundation sets up the whole rest of it. And it looks kind of basic, and it gets totally insane. Like, Dungeon Keeper is kind of like this, right? But the amount of shit in this game compared to Dungeon Keeper, there's probably like 100 times more shit in this game than there is in Dungeon Keeper. That's how crazy this game gets. It just keeps going and going. It's just massive, the amount of crazy things you can do. It's really fun. So anyway, but we had to get the basics done, and today is getting the basics done. And then next time we stream, which is probably going to be tomorrow, we'll get into it. We'll get our first missions down. We're going to be able to talk with the other evil geniuses, and we'll plan our doomsday thing, and we'll get all that going, and it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll get raided, and we have to set up defenses and start attacking. It's like really cool. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's it. Oh yeah, more henchmen. Yeah, you can have up to like 8 more henchmen, I think. It's really cool. It's hard to get that many, but they're available. And then one of them, Ara's favorite one, has a bazooka or an RPG. It's an RPG, and he's Red Ivan is his name, and he'll actually blow up your base. Well, because he'll just fire that RPG off anywhere. If some intruder comes in and he happens to be in your base, he'll fire it. He didn't care. It's kind of funny. And ironically, Red Ivan ends up being in Evil Genius 2, one of the evil geniuses for Evil Genius 2. Which was kind of weird. And somehow Max was brought back. So anyway, that's going to do it. So thanks, everybody. And I hope you watch some more Evil Genius 2 later. Tomorrow. And I should have new headphones tomorrow, too. So that'll be fun. We need a sound that explains I'm on the phone trying to fix a computer for old people. That's fine. We can do that. Well, anyway, we're done for now, though, Tiff. But we will continue this tomorrow. Let me save it. And we're going to call that a stream. So I hope you guys have wonderful tacos. Have the great rest of your day. Get plenty of sleep. I hope you all feel better. And I'll see you next time. If you guys like what you see, feel free to give me a follow or a sub or whatever. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Oh, here's the Discord link. Peace out.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.